Hello everyone. My name is Franklyne Abung'ana. Welcome to my online tutorials, where I give you the insight on emerging technological issues affecting matters in education. Subscribe to my channel so that you don't miss out on my upcoming tutorials. Subscription is free. You won't be charged anything. Instead, you will be notified whenever I upload a new video. Welcome and keep on learning.
Now, before we dive into OneNote book, I'll take you through a simple guide on how you can install it. Move to Microsoft Office Store. Just click there. Move to the search section and type in OneNote. From the drop down, you'll see OneNote for Windows 10. Select to install if you have not installed it. And this is how it looks like. Next, we shall launch our OneNote for Windows 10. Straight away, we shall create a new OneNote book. Move down to add a notebook. Give your notebook the title or the name. For this case, you'll give it the name of the learning area or the subject, that is science and technology for my case. Once you are done, click on create notebook, and remember you need internet connection for you to carry out this exercise. But the rest of the things you can work offline. So there it is. You can see it is under the list of other notebooks that I have. And let's move to the organization of our notebook. So this is the title of our notebook. That's the learning area, and then under section we shall use it to organize our notebook into various strands, or what we call the topics. They'll be in this pen. Next, we have the add a page section. Here we shall organize our notebook into substrands, what we used to call the subtopics. They'll be in this pen. And then we have this area where we're going to type our lesson plan. Now, one thing about a notebook is that if you have ever once used Microsoft Word product, you can apply the same knowledge here. So when working with text, it's just similar as you do it in Microsoft Word when it comes to formatting of the text. I will show you some of the commands you'll be using. For example, you can make your text italicized. You can underline. You can change the font or the text color. You can use various bulleting techniques. We have numbering there. We have paragraphing and what have you. The next tab, it is the insert tab, which you shall be using in this exercise. Under insert tab, we have various commands. For example, you can insert table, file, printout, pictures, or you can search videos online and insert in your notes. I think those are the main ones we shall be using. Let's go back to the home tab. Now, we have the section, it is untitled. To change the title, you simply right click and then rename the section. And remember, I said that here we shall have the various strands in our learning area, science and technology. So we shall have 5 of them. the first one, we have living things. Strand number 2, you have to click on add a section, environment, we add a section that will be strand number 3, computing devices. Add a section. Let us adjust this. Just pull the other side, you can drag it to adjust. We add another section, that is strand number 4, which will be matter. We add the last strand, that's number 5, force and energy. So let me correct this. I forgot to number it. Let me rename. Add there number 1. Good. So we have our 5 strands in the learning area, science and technology. You can see they are there. Great. You can as well change the color by right clicking on the section. If you're not maybe happy with the colors, simply right click on the section you want to change. Remember, OneNote normally give the various section color codes. Like this one is gray, want to change it to green. So right click, move to section color and select the color of your choice from the various options that you have. I'll select or choose on green. You can see the color has changed. So with the same tab selected, we have the page section. It is also untitled. To rename it, you can just type here and the name will automatically change, or simply right click and then rename page. So I'll list there the various substrands under the strand living things. We have around 8 of them. 3, drawing and labeling parts of a plant. Let me change the font type. I want to write in small letters. Types of plant. Types of plants. Strand number 1. Strand number 2. In small letters. That should be parts of a plant. Strand number 3, we shall have drawing and labeling parts of a plant. Also click on add a page, that will be strand number 4, functions of different parts of a plant. another section, that is strand number 5, making mounts of a plant. Add another section, strand number 6, types of roots. Another section, we have grouping plants based on the types of roots. So you can see how my substrands are being organized in the add a page section. And then finally, strand number 8, making mounts of roots. So the next thing is to number my substrands, number 1 up to 8. And instead of having this as pages, you can organize them under sub-pages, so that we have the 2 main substrands, plants, and then we have animals, so that we have collapsible substrands. So you can see the others don't have the substrands. You can add them later on at your own time. Let's go back to our strand number 1, living things. So under types of plants, I want to show you how to lesson plan. Having that selected, types of plants, we can change the font color. Let me make it red, and then I make it bold. We move to lesson presentation. Lesson presentation. I insert a table that is under administrative details. We shall have 6 columns and 2 rows. The first row will be for the headers. The second row will be where you're going to write the details. So once you select, you click, and it will be inserted in your lesson plan. You can adjust, just pull this. Remember, these are floating objects. You can adjust them to wherever you wish them to be. So just put the cursor between the 2 columns and drag it or resize them accordingly. Good. I think it now looks nice. I can now key in the various headers. We have the school, and administrative details. We have learning area. We have pre-primary or the grade. Remember, this is a CBC lesson plan. They are all similar, regardless of the grade. We have the date, we have the time, and finally the role. I adjust this a little bit. I think it's now okay. I'll select everything and then change the font color. I'll make it red and bold. Good. I'll add in the various details. Write the name of my school there. The learning area is science and technology. Is grade 6. The date, I'll key in the opening date for this term. That should be 25th of April 2022. Time, the first lesson from 8:20 to 8:55. And then for the roll, I expect 57 learners in the class. Let me adjust them accordingly. This one is too big. I can increase the one for the learning area and the school. Good. You can see the text is well fitting. Good. It looks nice. You can now adjust the size of this text. Select, increase the font to 14, and we can change the color. Let it be red. I think that is nice. Next, we move to strand, living things. But I think we can have just the skeleton, and then the rest of the things we shall fill in later. We don't have much time. So after strand, we move to substrand. This is the skeleton of our lesson plan, just the layout. We shall fill in the information later. Move to specific learning outcomes. What we used to call the objectives. We can have 3 of them. One for knowledge, another one for the skill, and then we have the attitude, 3 of them. Next, we move to the key inquiry question. Just need one there. We move to core competencies. There we can have several. Let me make them 2 or 3. So click the tab key on the keyboard. We have the first one, the second, and the third. Enter, backspace. Values. For values, we can have a number of them there. Then we move to pertinent and contemporary issues, what we used to call emerging issues. Next, we move to learning resources. ECIs, you can have 2 of them there. We have learning resources. Then we move to lesson presentation, or what we call organization of learning. Let me space and change the font. I'll make it red and bold. Good. Next we move to the introduction part of it under lesson presentation or organization of learning. Let me change the font back to automatic or black. Let me remove bold. Good. So lesson introduction. Have it there. Move to lesson development. How are you going to develop your lesson? You can do this into 3 main stages or parts. So we have step number 1, step number 2, and step number 3. Next, we move to conclusion. How are you going to end your lesson? And then we move to the summary. Under the summary, we are mainly coming up with the chalkboard plan. Some teachers call it a blackboard. Some call it the chalk wall, chalkboard, and what have you. So chalkboard or chalk wall plan. I'm going to insert a table with 3 columns. So we shall have headers, and where we have our summary, we can adjust accordingly. So this is the PB plan. Remember, for the width in a OneNote page, you can go as far as you wish. We have the grade. We have the learning area or the subject. And then we have the date on your far right. Let me change the font. I'll make it red, the font color, and bold. Now to adjust your BP plan, just click in the central part and hit the enter key to adjust the width. So that is it. We move to other sections, that is link to other learning areas. Are you going to link this lesson to other subjects? And then we have suggested community service learning. Next we have assessment, Then you have take home or extended learning activities. This is what we used to call the homework. Then finally, reflection, which will be filled at the end of the lesson. Good, I've done some formatting and you can see how the skeleton of my lesson plan looks like. It is ready for use. So I'll make this to be my template and should be filling in these various sections. It is incomplete. This is just the skeleton, so I'll copy and paste. So that I don't need to do this again. Once I'll be lesson planning, I just go direct to use the template. So I'll select and paste it there. Or you can right click on the substrand under the page and make it your default template. So you can see my lesson plan is now complete. All the sections have been properly filled. We have all the information needed. You can see the administrative parts are complete. The strand, substrand, specific, learning outcomes, key query question, core competencies. 3 of them values are there, around 3. Pertinent and contemporary issues, 2 of them. Learning resources, I've listed them there. Under lesson presentation or organization of learning, you can see we have my lesson introduction. You can see this there. That's how I intend to introduce my lesson. Here the lesson development, the 3 stages are there. What should be doing step number 1, what should be doing step number 2 and step number 3 respectively. And then we have my conclusion, the summary or the BP plan is down there. You can see the grade, that is 6. The learning area, science and technology, the date is there. We have the title and the picture I have inserted. We have a summary of some notes down there. So basically this is a nice lesson plan from the look. And then we have link to other learning areas, agriculture, CRA, suggested community services. We have assessment, take home or extended learning activities, it is there. Then finally reflection. At the end of the lesson, you state how the lesson has been, any improvement, shortcomings and what have you. So I think you can now make use of this powerful tool in lesson planning. You can as well print your lesson plan. Click to the 3 dots, click the print icon. If you are connected to the printer, you can go directly and print your lesson plan, or you can print it as PDF. For example, Microsoft print to PDF, and this is how it will look like. You can see I have 2 pages of my lesson plan.
I hope you have learned something from this tutorial. If so, give this video a big thumbs up, comment, and share. Above all, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell on so that you don't miss out on my upcoming uploads. Thank you for watching. See you then.